What's going on, guys, and welcome back to All the Mods 9, and we are back on our ship today. Having a little sort of tidying up on this ship so far. So quick catch up, what I've done is the mechanism room where we got our reactor. We have polished off all of the floor, redone all the floor, redone all of the walls, added in these quartz pillar trims just to make it look a little bit more detailed. I've also hidden our oxygen distributor and our gravity normalizer in the wall, so all of the mechanisms are actually behind here underneath the staircase, and that is this room sort of looking a lot nicer than where it was looking. We had like a bunch of exposed cables in the floor, we had these black mismatched blocks in each of the corners. All of the walls were like the green dark prismarine, which I wasn't really a fan of because it was very over sort of powering. And this just looks a lot more clean polished for this room. Then for our pneumatic craft room, I also done the same down here, polished it all off, reorganised our charging station, reorganised our circuit and tube making station, where we've got our little laser drills and whatnot that are making our tubes for us. And then I embedded the actual pressure chamber in the floor over here, which is all very safe with a bunch of different safety valves and safety upgrades in everything to stop anything from blowing up. Yeah, so everything sort of got like safety stuff in just to prevent it from blowing up, and this has one as well, and we've got the valve on there to stop it from going over 20 as well. But that's what I've done on the ship. There's oh yeah, that's what I said I was going to do, wasn't it? And I do apologise if you've got any noise in the background because someone is actually hoovering inside my house. What I will do is head on over to the next thing I want to show you, but I'll wait until the hoovering has stopped so you don't get this interference, hopefully. So I'll catch you back in a sec. Alright, so at the end of last episode, I said I was going to set up a quarry, and that is pretty much exactly what I'd done in order to get copious amounts of resources very, very quickly. Just so we've now got them on hand sort of thing, and you can sort of see how quickly we get resources. Like we've got 144,000 raw copper, 28,000 redstone, 6.2 thousand lapis, and 631 ancient debris. Now the way that I'm doing this, as you can see, it is clearing out massive areas. So what I do is grab our little markers, say quarry plus markers, put one here, and then I usually just bring up the sort of grid chunks so that way I can align these points better. So if we say another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over to here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, say 6. So up to there, and then we go click, and we should hopefully see a box provided I line them up fine. We should hopefully end up seeing a box appear, unless they're too far away from one another. Are you? Or are you not lined up? Okay, so yeah. So the box has now appeared, it's just not rendering all the time for some strange reason. Maybe it's because it is out of render range on that far corner. And then what I do is I pick up our chunk destroyer and then place it back down. And then it starts building this quarry frame. Let's get rid of our chunk borders. Goes all the way around, and then next frame. And then what I've got in here, I've got some power upgrades. Where can I see them? Modules, there we go. So I've got 4 quarry fuel modules and a void module. The void one is getting rid of the end stone, and dirt, mainly because I've got way too much of them materials already. And this thing gets materials so much quicker than we can even pump them into our system, get our markers back. And this is how I've just been sort of gaining resources, and I can quickly fly up over here so you can see just how fast it's getting rid of this stuff. Like, it's called a chunk destroyer for a reason. Is there something going on with my sounds? 35 stars. I don't know. We don't want the music up any low. There we go. So this is how we're getting the thing, and what it does, because it can't actually mine the Aldemodium ore. We've got just loads of floating blocks of Aldemodium, which I've been going through afterwards and mining them. But yeah, this is a way that we're getting resources. And if you're wondering how comes I set up a bunch of the storage drawers here, it is because I wanted to make sure before pumping it directly into our main storage system, I wanted to make sure that we had places for everything in our storage drawers that we can actually get from mining. So sand is going to be another one. So I'll just put you there for the time being. And then once it's like finished mining the section, the main issue is not the normal ores and materials that I'm used to, but the GregTech ones. The GregTech take up so many different ones, and so far every single other chunk that I've started mining with the chunk destroyer has been yielding new GregTech resources, and I don't want them ended up clogging up our digital storage, which is how comes I've got them being placed here before I make places and ensure I've got places everything in our main storage drawer system. So yeah, I'm just going to leave this one finish. I'm not bothering chunk loading this area because it does it so quickly. I usually just wait for it to finish a couple of chunks. Like, I can't see us needing resources at the speed that this thing's going to be generating it at the moment. So I'm only coming over here every now and again to sort of top up, and believe me, I've not even processed any of the materials from here, and I think we've got way more than enough. Now, before we get into auto processing all of the ores and resources that we're going to be getting from this thing, I want to now try to make the leap into applied energistics. So the other digital storage mod that I wanted to get into. Now, the reason I wanted to get into this before starting to automate more stuff, because as you could see from our ship, let me wait for this to finish going through, and then I'll explain to you why I want to make the leap into this other storage system now rather than later. Alright, now the quarry is actually done. Resource wise, 94,000 coal, 185,000 raw copper, 22,500 sulfur, which is annoying, so I just made sulfur seeds because we're using it in our mechanism setup, and then just a ridiculous amount of different GregTech materials, which I really need to get into GregTech. I've never even touched GregTech before, so it's going to be a new one to me, but I want to get into the new storage system because what is happening is that I'm sort of integrating our original storage system in automating some of the mechanism stuff already. So we've got like exporters making sulfur dust, and another one over here exporting the uranium, and just it's a case where I don't want to carry on automating stuff with our old storage system if we're going to be looking to swap out to a new one. I will still be keeping a version of the old one for certain things because the new one is sort of a little bit gated in some ways. Right, first of all, I think we're going to have to sort of auto craft. We're going to have to set up a bunch of auto crafts for crafting some of the new stuff. So we're going to need a bunch of these extended inscribers, I think, which means we're going to need a bunch of the subscribers, inscribers, not subscribers. There are 2, 3, 4. How many different chips are there? So it's 1, 2, 3 printed circuits, and then we need the printed silicon as well. So they make 1, 2, 3, and then we also need ones for making the actual chips. So what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 5. So it'll be 4 times 5, so it'll be 20. So another 16. I'm surprised I've got that many sticky pistons. Okay, and then to make the extended inscribers, we need storage buses, which means we need ME interfaces, which means we need formulation, which means they upgrade. So we're going to have to make a whole bunch of these manually anyway. I do apologise for that. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to want the, what's it, in the presses. So we're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably one of each, I think. 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to want to put a bunch of these in. We're also going to have to power all of these things. So we're going to want to make a stack of each of these chips in order to then start crafting the other stuff, in order to then start sort of semi-automating it to make a bunch of the components in order to start placing them down. What I'm going to do is get a jump start. I'm going to make an absolute butt ton of these printed circuit boards, so that way we can jump straight into it. Alright, so I've been crafting up a bunch of these. Hopefully by the time these guys are done, I should have 2 stacks of each of the processors. And then I've worked on sorting out a bunch of recipes for a bunch of different bits and pieces that we're going to need in order to get it sort of up and started. So let's throw these guys into there. I need these guys to finish in order to make the better inscribers. But what we are going to want to do is... So the heart of the beast is going to be the ME controllers. We're going to want like a bunch of these, but straight off the bat, see if we can't just make 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome. Then we're going to want the drive. Make one of you guys. Thank you. Then we're going to want to make a bunch of the Fluix ME dense smart cable. Are we able to make a full stack of this? Awesome. And that is almost done. Thank you. Then we're going to want, say, a stack of just the Fluix ME, nope, the Fluix ME covered cable. So a stack of that, and then we're going to want to make this into smart cable. That way we can see just how many channels are being used. Fluix cable, we're going to want like at least a stack of that. Thank you. And then we're going to want to make a bunch of ME interfaces. Say 16 to start. Awesome. Then we're going to need a storage disk. Now there is one from AE2. Now usually the way the storage disk works in this mod is that regardless of the size of the storage disk, it will be like, if it's a 16K storage disk, it will be 16,384 items that you can store on that. But with applied energistics, you can only store on each disk anything up to 63 different types of items. Now that is a sort of, it's a bit of annoyance, especially when you end up filling your storage system with bits of armor that don't stack. So there is a way around this by something that this mod is happy to actually have made, which is the AE2 things. So we're able to make a storage disk and it doesn't have that limit to the amount of different types of items that can be stored on it, which is what we're going to go for, just to sort of save us the hassle. So I've actually got one of these. Hopefully I can craft one. So it's not the casing, I actually want to make the storage disk. So yeah, so we're going to need a 256 ME cell. So let's make one of you first of all. And then we're going to want to make, we can get to see just how many. So a lot of the logic processors, but the rest of the stuff we seem to have, like a lot of redstone, about 256,000 items. Like, we're barely filling up that amount. We've got double that amount in storage space on our refined storage system. but we're definitely not using up that amount, which is good. So let's go 2, 5, 6. Gonna chew through all of our logic processes. We're missing the sky stone dust, so we're gonna need some sky stone. And how do we dustify you? Crusher? Crusher does it. And have we got a crusher somewhere? Because I saw that we had one set up somewhere. Unless I threw it back in the system. We can craft one. It's fine. Do one of these. Throw you onto no. To there. Start doing that. And let's go basic. And then advanced. And then elite. And then ultimate. 2, 3, 4. Basic. Advanced. Elite. And then ultimate. And then we can auto sort. So then it does it all at the same time. There we go. So if we throw that into there, go our 256 part, we've got our 4 spicing, just going to chew up all of our logic processors. But we can now have that sort of craft its way into a 256 ME storage component. And then we're going to want to make this guy as our 256. We can make it into either AE editions or AE2 things. Let's go with AE2 things just because. Well, just because. And then, is there a storage acceptor for this mod? It's like, I remember there being the energy cell that you used to have to force your energy to. So if we go, say, energy cell. Okay, we get a crafting recipe for energy cell. And dense energy cell, it's just, yeah, that's fine. Do that. Throw these 2 patterns into there. And then go energy cell, can we craft a dense one? Nice. So our energy cell, let's just take all of you out of there and put you into there. And then, what is it that I need? You know, I've probably chewed through like all of my processors, my logic ones. I'm probably going to have to make at least another stack of these guys. So, where's our logic inscriber? You go into there. And then we're going to want our silicon. You go into there. And we can sort of head to our ship and try setting some of this stuff up. We are going to want we're going to want the actual screens as well, really. How do we do these things? Like the crafting terminal. So ME terminal, illuminated pad. So we're going to need one of them. Then back to you, ME terminal, just illuminated pad, is that the thing that we've got here? Illuminated panel, that makes our ME terminal, and then crafting terminal. Have we got any room in any of these guys? Thank you. And then what else? We're going to want the other terminals as well, so pattern encoding one. We're going to need more patterns, god damn it. So pattern, crafting, storage monitor, conversion monitor. storage bus. There used to be loads of different ones. So pattern, crafting, some ME terminal. And then you've got like the storage monitor, level emitter. One of these. Have we got like any room? Okay, we've got some bits there. God, these things are dotted around all over the place now, aren't they? You know what? We don't need that axe on me. Don't need them on me. Definitely don't need an iron sword. I just had to fight a bunch of barbarians that was invading my village. Both of my guards died as well, because I was busy working on the chips, the processors. So we want the terminals, don't we? So if we say we definitely want this one. So crafting terminal, storage monitor, the pattern encoding terminal, and then just an ME terminal. Okay, I think that's like pretty much the bulk of things that we need in order to get this thing like up and running. Now, what I was thinking, now we want the screens up there, so if we go say crafting terminal, we don't want it facing that way. Fine, whatever. Is there like a wrench thing in this mod? Would it be the nether quartz wrench? Would it be the it wouldn't be the network tool, would it? Okay, let's try making one of these guys. Well, that wasn't helpful, was it? So if we go, oh god damn it, I did not mean to take you out. And then we want to put our screens facing out this way. So we want our main crafting one, and then pattern encoding can be on that side, storage monitor can be on this side, ME terminal can be there. Then we're going to want to get rid of you. Whoa, that was way too powerful. Oh my god, now I've got super speed. Can we like get down here? Okay. So with these guys, we want it to be like smart cable. Do that. I'm gonna bring this down to say here, which is cool. Then what I was thinking is if we have like our main sort of line coming along here, and by main line I mean our ME controllers that pretty much control everything. That way we've got enough room down here to run separate lines going straight down the ship off of it, but it also looks really freaking cool when it's like powered up. So if we do that, put our dense energy acceptor on there, grab a flux point, do that. Why? Oh, that's energy cell. We need a energy acceptor. Growth accelerator cell. Okay. Unless the energy acceptor isn't a thing anymore. Energy acceptor is a thing. God damn it. Okay. I'm just assuming we need the quartz glass. Yeah, I was correct. Can we make a stack of this? It's really tedious having to wait for it each time. Energy acceptor. Do that. So if we now break you, put you onto there, and then put our flux point onto there. Have that on our ship power. Ta-da! Okay. So now we need to try to get back up there. So what I was thinking is having that sort of like running all the way down and then have glass over that, and we can have cables coming off from underneath it. And this thing, as you can see, is like we've got the coloured line which indicates just how many channels are being used, and currently we need to get rid of these guys. Oh my god, you know what, why am I using this pick? It's really freaking bad news. It just insta breaks like everything. So we've got our crafting terminal. Let's, oh my god, that view is horrible. Can we like, okay, there we go. That's a lot better. It's fine, and then we're going to want it linked up to a storage drive, like an ME drive. But where do we want our ME drives? Because we're going to have like numerous of them. Do we want them like at the front, or do we want them hidden away underneath? Well, let's have them hidden underneath. So what we can do is then we can color code our lines as well, which is really freaking cool. So let's say we want our storage lines, like the hard drives, to be on, say, green. Let's do something like that. And we want them to come off of, say, here. And then we can have our hard disks just down here. Put you onto there. And then we should have one line sort of light up on there. It is super green, isn't it? And then we can put our 256k disk in there. Awesome. And then we can like store stuff in here now without it being an issue. Okay, so that is like the main sort of bulk of it. So what I'm going to do is keep on crafting up like a whole bunch of the ME controllers, have that run across down the bottom, and then I need to sort out a way of doing the wireless connection, because obviously we need this to be wirelessly connected to our storage drawers all the way back at the base, so that way we have access to the bulk of our stuff before I start transferring stuff to this main storage. And in order to do that, we need to set up what is called like a quantum ring. And in order to do that, you then need a singularity. In order to get a singularity, you need a 64k storage by the looks of it. I think 64k is the lowest one. And then you need to feed it 64,000 items to make a singularity, then use the singularity to make a quantum entangled singularity, and you use that in a quantum ring to link wirelessly. It's far more complicated than the refined storage section, so it's going to be a lot of crafting. Once I got all of them bits and pieces in place and ready to go, and we're ready to connect it all up, because it's just going to be a lot of grindy work, it's going to be a lot of cabling sort of management, and it's fun for me, but it'll be very, very boring viewing for you. So what I'm going to do is carry on sorting out all of this storage system. Once I've got it in a workable fashion, I will bring you back. Alright, so after many hours of tinkering with this stuff, trying to figure it out on how I'm meant to do it, I've upgraded all of our inscribers. So these now do like 4 jobs simultaneously. So I've been making tons upon tons of the, is it circuits? Nope, not circuits, processors. Yeah, so I've got like 800 gold, 599 of the diamond, 581 of the calculation ones, which is the Certus quartz. And then I've been making a whole bunch of different bits and pieces that I think we're going to need. So in order to link it cross-dimensionally, oh for God's sake, really? It's so loud as well, like unnecessarily loud. Northeast, where are you? Over here. They usually spawn up on this hillside, but they're over this way this time. Okay, and come into range. There you are. Yay. Some more go flying. Okay, you guys get lost. Okay, let me get rid of all of these guys. It's going to take a minute. Okay, now that has been dealt with. Let's grab our warp zone. Just teleport back to our storage area. So, in order to transport stuff across dimensionally, we need these things called quantum rings. Now, each quantum ring, when powered and linked, it can then transfer up to 32 channels from the main sort of processor unit, which is on our ship. So we need to link these. Now the way that you link these is using these singularities. In order to get a singularity, we have to use the matter condenser, feed it 256,000 items for it to create one of these, and then use a bit of TNT in order to explode it to make it a, what's it called? Quantum entangled singularity, and there's 2 of them. And then you put 1 in each chamber, and that's how they linked. But yeah, trying to get 256,000 items into this, what I ended up doing is making 2 crafters, level 3 from RF Tools, and then doing stick craft. So they log into planks, then planks into sticks. That way you get an 8:1 ratio. And then I was just crafting a whole bunch of oak logs using the essence from our storage and throwing it into this thing here, and it done it relatively quickly after I'd done that. We have also got a stonework factory which is just slowly making cobble, and that is also filling it up, but that's just going to be passive. I'm just going to leave that as is for now. I've been clearing up a lot as well, but as I've been clearing up, I've also been making quite a mess. So it's sort of like counterintuitive when I try to tidy up. So I got rid of all of the botany pots along the backhand wall, as well as the storage drawers along the backhand wall. Got rid of half of our villager trading stations because they weren't really needed, and I've moved them all the way down to essences down to here. So we've got that one was just emptying, so we've got them all stored up here now, and we've got the botany pots over here, so they're just lined up against the wall. I will decorate this a lot better. I just had a bunch of clay on me, so I filled in the holes and whatnot. You can actually come off of there and be thrown into here. And if you're wondering what this stick is, I got fed up of trying to, because I'm so quick, like the amount of speed I've got, trying to find a point where I could actually get on the elevator easily was really getting annoying. So I've installed these things called travel anchors, and using the star for traveling, I can now just sort of look at an area and right click and it will take me there. And I've also got it dotted around, so we've got our industrial ring as well, and it's a lot easier and a lot faster to get around now. So other than that, what else is there? So we need to go set up this singularity and pray that it actually works. Let's go to our, where's our mine colonies one? There you are. And then let's just run over here, because I'm fairly sure the mini TNT doesn't actually create an explosion, but we will see. I also, one of these have the magnetism thing on. Yeah, magnet upgrade, so can we switch that off? Magnet, turn that off. And then what we should be able to do is throw in you. And then light this. And then hopefully it creates the... it does destroy blocks then. Why did I not get my combined singularity? Oh, did I get crushed by the sand? Please don't tell me that's a thing. It takes so long to make though. I'm definitely done something wrong here. So, in-world explosion. Oh. Well, I just wasted one of the singularities. Luckily, I made two. God's sake, guys, really. Freaking phantoms. I was meant to throw an ender pearl in with it, apparently. Go away. So, let's try this one again. So, ender dust or any ender pearls. TNT. Okay. So, ender pearl. And then we want tiny TNT. I don't believe I've done that. That's really annoying. Okay, so singularity and ender pearl. Do that and do that. Please work. There we go. Oh, okay. So that is our quantum entangled singularities. I'm actually going to have to make another one because I need two of them, because I need another one for the industrial ring. I'm going to need 32 channels just for up here, this room alone, which is a little bit annoying. So if we put one into, oh yeah, we can actually name these. We can go, there's an anvil. Let's go with main screen displays. Do that. And then go to our ship where I can show you the changes that I've made over here. So you can only extend the computer core so far, and that's like the max limit on how far it can go from one point to another. So what I have done and put a line coming down here, line coming down here. So we've got a ME storage drive just on this side, and we're going to have drives along here. And then we need to set up our quantum ring somewhere. I'm thinking, did I seriously? I've not actually put one up top yet, have I? There. So if we go up here, do I want to put it up here? No, I really need it down below, don't I? Thinking of it. So if we grab our quantum rings, and then we're going to need the dense cable. So if we go dense smart cable, so make a stack, and then what color do we want this one? Say blue. Where's our blue dye? Blue dense cable. Okay, so if we have like one ring coming off of this side and one ring coming off of that side, and then we're going to want, where's our midpoint here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have no idea how much power this is going to take, which is the only other worrying thing. So if we do that, so that is that one done. And then if we go, yeah, over to here. So it can't go on the corners, it has to go on the side. Device online. But how much power are you going to take? Okay, so energy usage is 450 per tick. And okay, that is cool. So that is actually registering 18 of them, which is correct. So it's like 9 for each side. Awesome. And then we're going to want to So you go back to base. And this one should now be online. Nice. So my plan is to finally get rid of all of this setup here and have this dense cable come down here, so then we can access the screens over here. So what we are going to want to do is make a whole bunch of the screens for this side. So we're going to want a terminal. Thank you. A crafting terminal. Thank you. Going to want a pattern encoding terminal, so we could do the patterns on this side as well. I think 3 screens should be fine. Is there like a fluid monitor as well? Terminal, pattern conversion. Is that not a fluid terminal for applied? Buttons, please. We have got a fluid P2P tunnel. Okay, so pattern, crafting, storage monitor, conversion, pattern. Okay, so there is no fluid storage one, which is fine. So 3 screens is fine for this side. And then we're going to, I'm trying to figure out like all the stuff that we do want. Let's grab you, Fluix. Are you smart? You are smart. So another stack of these. Oh, have we got the autocraft in here? We're gonna want a whole bunch of these guys as well. Nice. Cable anchors. Anything else? Let's go with balloon die. Actually, we're going to want to make these smart cables, aren't we? So smart is redstone and glowstone. Awesome. And then we're going to want to make these blue. Nice. That should hopefully be everything. You can throw the rest of this garbage away. Yeah, I think that's everything that I'm going to need for this area here. But what we are going to want to do is pick up all of this other stuff. Where's an empty backpack? You. Nope, you're not empty. You are. Why is it? Oh, because I've got it open. That makes sense. Okay, so we're going to want to pick up all of this stuff. Let's also turn on our magnet. Thank you. Wow. So put all of this stuff away into here. Ah, it's going to have so many patterns and things, doesn't it? Crap. Yep. I don't think this bag's going to be enough. You can go. Wow. I forgot just how many patterns there are. So let me sort of set this up, otherwise it's going to be a very, very long and tedious process for you to watch. And once I've got it set up, then I will bring you back. Alright, so a quick update. What I'm having to do is obviously transfer everything from our old storage to our new storage. So what I'm using is a disk manipulator from Refined Storage, linked up with just a controller and a PowerPoint. And then I've got an external storage linked up to this chest, which is now exporting everything from these disks into this double chest. And then I've got an importer with a bunch of acceleration cards, which is importing all of that data onto these storage disks. So yeah, it's just going to take a hot minute in order to go through a bunch of these. But the thing is, like, I forgot to craft a bunch of stuff before starting to do this, so I kind of have to do this before doing that. So you can see everything sort of coming in and then going back out, and then I need to set up all of the external storage buses. I think it's, what is it called in this one? Import. Yeah, I think it's just a storage bus, which is what I need to craft. So I need to get this sort of system up and running, and it's sort of going to be like falling back to square one again, because I'm going to have to do all of the crafting recipes, set up all of the automation, run all the cables again. So it's going to take quite a while for me to get it all done. Once I've got everything in place and a system that's like fully up and running, I will bring you back and show you, because it's going to be a lot of crafting and a lot of running around, a lot of transferring stuff. So yeah, I guess I'll catch you back in quite a bit. So yeah. Alright, so fast forward many hours of crafting and rerunning cables and doing all sorts of shenanigans to try to get most things linked up. I can now sort of give you a run through as to what we've got running. So we've got our main 6 boards here. These are just keeping track of random items that we wanted to keep track of. I don't know why I picked them two, to be honest, but they're just 2 items that I grabbed from the center thing. We've got our main central crafting one. We've got our just standard viewing one. This one is our pattern sort of viewer, so we can see what machines each of these, what are they called? God damn it, I've placed like 300 of them. I should really know the name of them by now. They are called, let me figure it out. Yeah, see, I thought it was now they've changed it since I last played it, so I made a bunch of the ME interfaces, which is what everything was done by originally. This is how comes I forgot the name. And so I made a bunch of them and placed a bunch of them, and then they weren't working the way that I was expecting them to work. It is the pattern provider. So the pattern provider is something new to me in this pack that I've not played with before. Like before these, I'll explain to you what each of these things are. Each one of these 4 things in either side, they are our crafters. So they have like a lot. So they've got 1, was it 2, 4, 6 crafting co-processing units, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 16k crafting storage components. And then we've also got a crafting monitor, so we can see which each crafting unit is going to be crafting. Now, what they do is that they actually process the steps of the craft, and depending on if there's like thousands upon thousands of steps in order to finish the craft, that's how comes we are sort of future-proofing it by having such large ones. You don't really need them this large at all. This is pretty much overkill. And then these units, the 1, 2, 3, 4 here, these are the things that actually store our patterns and do the manual crafts for us. So these ones are like manual crafts, and then they'll then distribute them 2 types of crafts to this molecular assembler and this molecular assembler. So all of that is now automated, and as you could see, I have got a bunch of the patterns like reprogrammed into our system. So that's one part of what I had to do. I also fully automated all of our inscribers back here. So now we can make the processors for applied energistics automatically. And then down below you can get to see the complete and utter mess that I've made. If I can get down this freaking hole. Thank you. So down here what we've got the 2 red lines either side. They are our crafting lines. And then we've got the cyan lines, which are our actual molecular assemblers. And they actually wrap round to the front where our inscribers are. So our extended inscribers can do 4 different crafts simultaneously. So I've got all of the patterns set up for them in order to do their jobs automatically. And then we've got a 2 different storage drives. This one's our fluid drives, this one is our normal drives. And then we've got, oh yeah, I installed a wireless access point with an infinity booster, And then I also made a wireless crafting terminal. This way I can access our storage system from absolutely anywhere, regardless of what. I don't know why all of my stuff is just reinitialized. That was weird. And then I've got another line, if I can do this without dying. No! And with hopefully not breaking the freaking line. How can I best show you this? Okay. Let's go out the normal way then, shall we? So the issue that I ran into after remembering that it was going to be an issue is the outside here. I've had to run a line from down here all the way down the centre of the ship, and I made sure that it was white so it blended in with the bottom end of the ship, and then it runs through here. This is a little unit that's providing oxygen to the midsection of our ship, and then I've got it completely encased using facades around the cable, and it comes up into here in the back of our ship, and that is to reinitialize all of our what door did I come out of? It was this one, wasn't it? Where we had the automation set up for our mechanism, all of that had stopped, and I completely forgot that I had that even like run. So I had to rerun all of them cables and reset all of these export buses with crafting cards up. So now this is actually redoing its job. So we've got like sulfur dust, the fluorite being produced. Where is the fluorite? Is it over here? Yeah, over here. And that way we are now restocking back up, because all of the fissile fuel had run out. We was running off of our auxiliary one, which was built up into here. Now this one is building back up. Luckily our machine didn't stop, and we've still got more than enough polonium that hopefully next episode we can make that mech suit. But we'll see how we get on. What else did I do? There was nothing else on the ship that I'd done. I don't know how long ago I updated you. Like, I done a whole bunch of stuff here as well. So we've got rid of all of the refined storage stuff on here. Got rid of all of the temporary setup and machines here. I'm going to be reorganising all of this stuff in between episodes and getting rid of our villager breeders, because all of this is like unnecessary. We're not really using villagers anymore. So all of that stuff can go. These guys can probably be moved to somewhere more suitable. All of our random book stuff can be put away somewhere. These random bags need to be organised. These have been automated, so now we've got the ultimate crushing factory, ultimate enriching factory, and ultimate smelting factory that we can put recipes in. Again, we've got access to make patterns and whatnot over here, just to sort of save us the headache of anything. And then if we go to our industrial ring, I don't know if I showed you this or not, but I'm going to show you again even if I have. I had to set up all of the automation for our mechanism stuff again, so we've got all of that fully automated. So that way we can then make all of the mechanism stuff. So if we go back over to here, go at mechanism, we can now automatically... Oh no, I've not actually done a crafting recipe for these chips, have I? The control circuits. That's bad. You. Wrong one. You. Okay, so mechanism. So it was the control circuits that I've not done the recipes for. I also need to redo all of the recipes for the cables and stuff from mechanism, because they actually move the items the quickest that I found. We want to go to you and start placing them. We're separating the crafts as well in a way that if it needs to craft this, it's not going to be held up by trying to craft this one and this one. They'll be sent to different molecular assemblers, so that way we're spreading the crafts around them rather than having just the one trying to focus all of its power onto that. But we can actually sort of put recipes in without actually having to go to every machine, so we can just put the recipes in on this screen, which is an absolute godsend. Now that is pretty much everything I can think of that I've done up until this point. So what I was thinking is, I'm fairly sure that we're running out on time on today's episode, but I was like looking ahead to see what we sort of need to dive into in this mod pack, and the thing that we've been neglecting the most is there's a couple of different things actually, And there's a few fun things I actually want to do as well, like personal things that aren't even in the sort of quest line sort of thing, the thing where it tries to walk you through. So hostile neural networks, never played with this mod before, so this is something that I'm probably going to get into at some point. Whether it's next episode or not, I do not know. The Greg Tech tree, which is freaking massive. Like, there's steam age, low voltage, medium voltage, high voltage, extreme voltage, insane voltage, ludicrous voltage, 0-point module, which is a reference to Stargates, which I don't want to have to go through all of that to get to that point. Ultimate voltage, ultra high voltage, and then the Greg star, which is like an extended ending of the game compared to the Aldemodium star. By the looks of it, because it uses an Aldemodium star in its crafting recipe, I do believe. But other than that, there's a couple more adventuring ones. So we've not done Blue Skies, and we need to finish off Twilight and finish off the Cataclysm ones. But then we've also sort of somehow avoided all of the magic mods. So the magic ones that we have got into is Forbidden and Arcanus. That was to make our stuff unbreakable. And we've done the Apotheosis so we can fully enchant all of our stuff. But we are missing out on Ars Nouveau, Blood Magic, Britannia, Eidolon Repraise, Evilcraft, and Occultism. So there's a lot of magic mods that we need to sort of play through in order to get the end tier ingredients from them mods to then do the Aldemodium star. So what I was thinking is that next episode we'll get into one of the magic mods and then use whatever we get from these magic mods, be it armor, weapons, and so on and so forth, and take them into the Twilight and try to finish off, what is it, 1, 2, 3, it's around about 3 and a bit bosses, because a few of these I wouldn't really count as bosses. They're like just little mini side bosses. Actually, there's only 2 that I can remember, which is the Urghast and the Snow Queen. Yeah, Snow Queen. And I don't think there is a final boss yet. Yeah, it is not yet implemented. It's not been implemented for the better part of around about 5-6 years. Like, it's always been up to this point. They've just been refining all of the other bosses and whatnot, which is fine. Twilight's a pretty good sort of exploration mod that I enjoy going through, but it's something that we can finish the next episode off on, and we can dive into I don't know, I'll try to figure out a way of like spinning a wheel in order to get to pick which magic mod we dive into. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the funnest way. Although Occultism, I don't think it would really count too much, because what I remember from Occultism, there's not a lot of weapons or armor in Occultism. The same for Evilcraft, but Britannia there's a lot. Ars Nouveau, I know that there's Mageware and there's weapons with spell casting, and Blood Magic there's full armor sets and weapons as well. So yeah, depending on what one we land on will depend on whether or not we go through that route. But the other thing that I was sort of tinkering with in between the last couple of takes is go back to our ship. These screens, so as you can see, I've actually got the time running on this one, and I've got like a few buttons implemented on these. Like, I can press them, but I've not actually linked them or named them to anything yet, and they can sort of send redstone signals to turn stuff on and off. Now, this is through the RF Tools utility mod, and from what I remember, it's like you used to be able to make these screens stretch, but I can't remember how. Is it the smart wrench? General smart wrench, right click. Use as a block selector, sync right master to select block, right click. Yeah, like I could have swore that there was a way of making these things stretch so you didn't have like 6 of them on the one. So let's break these ones off and break these ones off. And let's just see if there's a way. Default. Open manual. I think that may have opened an internet window. yeah, I'm going to have a play around with these screens and hopefully get them implemented. So that way we can have fully functioning screens rather than 6 mini monitors on each one. I don't mind the 6 monitors here because that's for a reason. Although I may change the colour of these. I figured out that to change the colour of them you need to change the colour of the cable that they're sitting on. Which is how comes the ones that are other main base area is blue. I want these ones to be cyan, so I may swap out this cable for a cyan cable. It may be a little bit annoying because I'm going to have to replace everything that I've put down here, but it's not too much of a headache, to be honest with you. Let's try the smart wrench, shall we? I don't know, but there's no Clowd recipe for a smart wrench. I guess I won't try that then. Yeah, I'll have to tinker around with it and see if I can't figure out the screens, but I definitely think that's probably going to do it for today. And hopefully, if you're watching this and you're considering swapping over your storage system from one digital storage system to another, my advice is don't. It's no word of a lie, about 8-9 hours worth of grinding in order to get everything back in place, and I've not even fully got everything back into place that was set up. So if you're going with digital storage, pick one and just fly over it. And if you need the ingredients from the other storage mods, craft it using the original digital storage that you're actually working with, rather than doing what I've done and making the swap, because my god was that freaking painful. But nevertheless, I'm happy that I've done it because I actually much prefer playing around with Applied Energistics. They've got a lot more mod integration than the other mods. So if we have a look at this stuff here, you can have a look at like the storage cells that you've got. So they've got, what is it, mana cells. If we go cells, so over here we've got mana storage cells, we've got fluid, ME item, chemical storage, portable source, which I do believe is Ars Nouveau. They've got loads. Basically there's around like 3 of the different magic mods are implemented to work cohesively with Applied Energistics. So jumping into a magic mod next is probably ideal, considering we made the swap over to this storage system, because refined storage would have struggled trying to implement and mix that in with it. But yeah, nevertheless. Anyway, before I ramble on anymore, hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. Hopefully it's not been too jump cutty, but hopefully you like the fact that our spaceship base is coming alive now, which I really do like. So yeah, hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.